Hey there, film fans. Today I'm going to review for you Bridget Jones' Baby, starring Renee Zellweger, Colin Firth, Patrick Dempsey and Emma Thompson, but not Hugh Grant. What do you think of my English does American does English accent there? Admittedly, I used to get really wound up over the fact they'd chosen a skinny American girl to play a plump English girl, but I kind of got over that now. And Renee Zellweger really is Bridget Jones. And do you know what? I've got to say, I was expecting I was really going to dislike this film based on the trailers, and I actually didn't. I thought it was a lot better than I'd expected. Bridget Jones is surprisingly likeable, and I like that she's ageing in a way that's not entirely conventional and fitting with what society thinks she should, which does extend to her much criticised appearance. I'm sure that the people that critique Renee Zellweger's face and body are not perfect themselves, so maybe they should back down. Anyway, plot line is Bridget Jones, some reason didn't marry Mark Darcy. I think it's because he works too hard, but she's still kind of in love with him. She ends up hooking up with both him and an American millionaire at a festival, and isn't quite sure which of them is the one that impregnates her. So cue much hilarity. As I said, I quite enjoyed Renee Zellweger as Bridget Jones again. Apparently she works around the corner from me in a job that doesn't look too different from my own. But anyway, many positives to note. So Colin Firth does a good job of being Mr. Darcy. I think I've heard an interview where he said he could do this in his sleep pretty much. It's not much of a push. He does that kind of confused yet adoring, standoffish yet grumpy Darcy character that he created very well still. Personally, I still don't really get the attraction to him. I've still always been more of a Hugh Grant / Patrick Dempsey kind of gal. Speaking of Patrick Dempsey, ding dong. He kind of perfectly personifies why in loads of ways Americans are just better than English. Sorry, I'm an Americophile. Except for all the kind of ridiculous new age hippie kind of platitudes, but other than that they just seem more upbeat and happy and pleasant and likeable. It's really obvious that this part was meant to have been played though by Hugh Grant, who apparently didn't want to be involved in this new film. So they decided to kill him off. Or have they? In the books, obviously, Mr. Darcy is killed off, although I think that's still a little bit further in the future, so who knows, there might be another one without Colin Firth. For me, the standout star was Sarah Soleimani as the news anchor, friend of Bridget, who really just lightened up the screen every time she was on it. The main plot line about Bridget and her babies isn't that great, but everything in her offices I really enjoyed. But that might be a personal thing because it's vaguely linked to the type of stuff my day job's like. It's nice to see an interviewer that is worse than me. Makes me feel good about myself. Also, we've got Emma Thompson, who is, as always, very funny. I think she was a writer on this, so I think she might have sculpted her part a little bit. But yeah, she's really good. I liked how they played on the Bridget Jones legacy with the music selection. They use Lily Allen's fuck you very, very much at one point, which always feels needed. Overall, the film is a little bit more sweary than I remember Bridget being, but maybe that's a reflection on modern society, and there are a couple of looks at how things have changed since the last Bridget movie, although some of them can feel a little bit obvious, a little bit cliche, things we've seen, like jokes about Gangnam Style. I mean, it's not exactly popular culture anymore, is it? There are some really funny lines. There's one that Colin Firth delivers that made me laugh out loud, where Patrick Dempsey's character says something about some platitude about Laredo in Peru, about living there, and Colin Firth says, well, we Lara don't live in Peru, I live in Ealing. The baby situation is credited to out-of-date condoms and references to sell-by dates, which is obviously a reference to the film. Has it passed its sell-by date? There's a lot of these films from around the 90s, reboots of like David Brent and Ab Fab, and obviously this is the latest in that series. I actually think it's pretty good though. I did really enjoy, I mean obviously I really enjoyed David Brent and I quite enjoyed Ab Fab, but I felt that this was quite a successful comeback. I mean, it's better than Edge of Reason. Overall, definitely I would recommend seeing it if you're a fan of the franchise. Don't know if it will win over new fans, but you know, it doesn't really, it's not very risky, it's quite kind of easygoing, rom-com, you know, Brit comedy stuff. So yeah, check it out, why not? Let me know in the comments what you think. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you later, film fans.